Hey everyone, CJ Lang here for the fantasyauthority.com. You can find me on Twitter at clubber_lang83. I am here with the Dino Boys from TFA, Brian Beckman at WeArePSU26 on Twitter, and Jeremiah Stewart at JStew35. Would you change your handle?
Yeah, a little magic in there.
Well, we are here for your Week 7 Dynasty Buy and Sells, and I am going to kick this shindig off with my buy, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, the running back for the Browns. This is literally the last week that you can buy him. Since Chubb went down, though, he has had a bit of a slump the last 2 weeks, so that may be why somebody might be wanting to sell him to you. He's had 112 yards on 33 carries. It's a measly 3.3 yards per carry. He's also got 5 catches and no touchdowns. But things turn around for him the next few weeks. So check out these next 5 opponents. Cincy, Vegas, Houston, Philly, and Jacksonville. All are in the bottom 10 in the league in rushing defense. So that's going to be over a month's worth of potential fantasy boom for Hunt. Not to mention for dynasty purposes that he's 25. He's still a great talent. And who knows where he would be right now if he would have stayed on the Chiefs. So you need to buy Hunt right now before he blows up. And honestly, even if he excels this next month, I don't see why they would rush Chubb back from that knee injury. So it's a smart move all around to acquire him now. If you're buying him, buy him for a mid-first, sell him for more. So that's my buy for this week. Brian, who do you got?
I got a whole bunch of buys this week. I'm going to lump the entire rookie wide receiver class into a buy. From CeeDee Lamb all the way down to the guys on IR, Jalen Reagor, Mims, and Pittman, I think, all on IR. I would buy any of them. Their current price from, maybe 3 firsts for CD, something like that in that value range, all the way down to a late first to a second for one of those guys on the IR. Every one of these guys, I think, is worth the value you're going to pay for. Jeremiah, you and I were talking the other day about the 2014 class. You got OBJ, you got Hill, Watkins, A-Rob, a few other guys. The list goes on and on. I think this class might be deeper. I think this class might be better. I'm going to snatch up any one of those guys. I'm going to try to pay the appropriate price, maybe 3 firsts. T. Higgins, maybe a first. I just did a deal where I sent Ronald Jones for Chase Claypool. Got a little bit of mixed reviews, but it was a deal that I felt I had to take because it's just another one of those guys you want to get on your roster. Jeremiah, you just did a deal where you sent Chubb, and I think it was a pick, and you got CeeDee Lamb. So any one of these guys right now for me is a buy at anywhere from 3 firsts all the way down to maybe a mid to late first or even a second, depending on which one you're going to go after. But I'm going to get as many of them on my roster as I can.
I love both those deals. I think I gave you props for getting Chase Claypool with Rojo.
Yep.
We'll get to Rojo later, but get all those rookie wide receivers if you can, even the ones on IR. They're good buys. It's a great class. My buy is JuJu Smith-Schuster. I think he's 23 years old, still a very, very good wide receiver. Unfortunately, his issue right now is there's 3 other second-round wide receivers that are just as good, at his talent level with a really good quarterback they're the hot hands right now. And that's their offense, right? They're just going to keep throwing it out. And the Steelers are 5 or 6-0.
Yep.
So they're leading in every game. So the game scripts, they're not good to have 2 to 3 wide receivers step up and just produce every game. JuJu is still getting his snaps. He's at 75% or better in every game. And when Deontay's out, it seems to be that Chase Claypool's the guy. When Deontay's in, then it's Deontay. So we'll see how that roster shakes out when Deontay gets back. It's a really fun offense. JuJu's only 23, and there's a really good chance they don't re-sign him because of the talent around him. And then he gets his choice of quarterback. And as a Lions fan, I'd love to see him come to Detroit. He'd look really good. If he went to Houston with Deshaun Watson, lots of great places for him to go. And I'm really excited to see what his offseason looks like. But I'd go and get him. If you can get him for an early second, that's a great buy price. I don't think anybody's giving him up for that. His sell price is probably 2 firsts. Any 2 firsts would really probably get me to move JuJu Smith-Schuster, because then I could use one of those firsts and get one of those IR rookie, wide receivers I really like that are coming off, like Mims or Rager or Pittman. And so I'm getting Pittman in a first for JuJu. I think that's about a good price, and I would pull that trigger.
So who do you got for your sell this week, Maya?
Your boy. You might know him as Ronald Jones Jr., Rojo, so to speak. Listen, I hate the guy. I never drafted him. I've never owned Ronald Jones Jr. When he was coming out, everybody loved him, and I just saw this small little running back. He's not that small. He could beat me up, so I'm not going to talk that much bad about him. But he's a tiny 4 running back. He wasn't even that fast. He was labeled as a speed running back, but I think he ran a 4.57. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's correct. Maybe it's 4.47. Either way, it wasn't in the 4.3s. It wasn't in the 4.4s, I don't think. So
you're selling him because of his combine?
I'll get there. You know what? Just give me a second. His combine's not great. Was he a second or third round draft pick? So either way, he does have the draft pedigree, but no pass protection chops, no receiving chops. He's not great. So this is why I hated him coming out and why I have no shares. Why I think he's a sell right now is because he's doing well and making me look like an idiot. So I want him gone off of everybody's roster. I want everybody to agree with me. Sell him. Fournette has been hurt, and week 2, Fournette looked really good. He came off the bench, ran for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, looked really good. And the next game he got hurt. So we don't know what that backfield looks like with a healthy Fournette outside of game 2. So, Fournette's been not necessarily healthy scratches, but he's been emergency only use the last couple games. And Rojo's doing really well with it. Arians is giving him the ball, and he's running it well. 100 yards in 3 straight games, I think. So all right around 106 yards or more in 3 straight games. So he's doing his thing. I just think he is 100% a sell because Fournette's still there. And I do think Fournette is the more complete and better back. And I think in maybe 2-3 weeks, we're probably going to see where Ronald Jones is the role player and Fournette's the guy. I could be wrong. Rojo looks really good, but that's just my personal opinion. And I would sell him for a Chase Claypool all day right now. And if you can get more, if you can get a Justin Jefferson or one of those studs, or even a couple first round picks if you're rebuilding, I would do it. So I think his sell price for me, if I owned him, I'd probably want at least a first round pick, and I'd love an upside wide receiver. Maybe try to flip him for like Cam Akers straight up, while Cam Akers is kind of have like a good buy low window. And then for me, his buy price, I wouldn't, probably early second. I might try an early second, but I would not buy them. I would not buy him from an owner like this guy over here. I wouldn't buy him from this guy up here. He loves Ronald Jones.
You must hate winning then, I guess.
Who are you selling? Who are you selling?
I'm selling Robbie Anderson. For those of us that have been on the Robbie Anderson train, whether or not you stuck it out or you jumped off and jumped back in, it's time to cash in. He right now I think he's second in the league in total yards. He's in the top, depending on your scoring format, somewhere near the top 10 in fantasy points. I think it's time to cash in on that ticket. I think he's been a go-to guy in the early parts of this offense, but I think as that offense starts to mature, we're going to see the ball, and C-Mac comes back. Right now, they don't have a tight end. I think they're like third from the last in tight end targets or something ridiculous like that. So as this offense matures, C-Mac comes back, they start spreading the ball around a little bit more. I think his target share is going to go down. I think his production is going to go down, probably to a level that it should be at. Quite frankly, he'll have big games. He's a deep threat, speedy, big play guy. So he's still going to get those plays. But I think his overall production is going to level out a little bit. So I'm gonna take my Robbie Anderson share that I've been sitting on for 3 years, and I'm gonna go cash it in. Probably gonna look for. Here's the problem with Robbie Anderson. If you don't have Robbie Anderson on your team, you probably don't want Robbie Anderson on your team. Yeah. That's the problem with Robbie Anderson. So I'm going to try to find somebody that needs a wide receiver and is selling an extra running back or something like that and do a swap out. If I can get a mid first, I'll do it. I don't know that that's going to be an easy sell, quite frankly. But I'm going to try to fill a hole somewhere else in my roster, maybe get a tight end, a running back, something like that, and move on and cash in my Robbie Anderson lottery ticket.
No, that's
nope.
If you like Robbie Anderson, you probably already have him on your team. So
yep.
If I owned him and I didn't believe in him and I wanted to sell him, I would literally go roster by roster in each league I'm in, and I would look for the people who have holes at wide receiver.
Yep.
And I'd probably try to do a 2-for-1 where I'd given up Robbie Anderson, who gives them points this year, right? Or that's the logic behind it,
right?
And then I'd throw in like a Deontay Johnson. I'd try to go for a big upgrade to a CeeDee Lamb or something
yep.
of that sort. Swing for the fences.
Yep,
throw in the win now points with the youngster and
go get one of those. Go get one of those high end young wide receivers. We all want to buy. That's a great deal too.
Straight up for Jalen Reagor, somebody that's a buy low right now, or Denzel Mims.
You got to be careful. You're still going to get production out of them, I think. So if you're competing, if you're putting up points and you're looking like you're a playoff team, I want to fill a hole. If I'm just rebuilding and I've been sitting on him for a while, then absolutely, Jalen Reagor would be a perfect deal for that. For Robbie Anderson.
Don't offer Robbie Anderson to a team that's currently 0-6 and has no first-round pick. That's just insulting. They don't want him.
Right.
So offer him to somebody that just had an injury. So offer him somebody that's 3-2, 3-3, somewhere in that round. They want to keep competing, and maybe they have some depth issues. That's
a little bit weak at wide receiver, and they need somebody to fill the holes as we get into the buys and something like that.
It's got to make sense for both teams if you're going to move Robbie Anderson for the value.
He's not a hot commodity, but he does have value, and I'm going to try to cash in.
All right. So as we film this, it's Thursday night, the night of the presidential debate. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to mute your mics because I'm going to talk shit about yourselves, and I don't want you to talk back. Brian, the Panthers do have a tight end. His name is Ian Thomas, and he's going to be a stud if he isn't already. And Maya, if a strong gust of wind blows through Raymond James Stadium, Leonard Fournette's going to break his ankle. So let's go. I'm gonna push right now. I'll open you guys back up. And I'm going to go with my sell this week. And of course, he's playing right now, but it's Travis Fulgham, wide receiver for the Eagles. The Eagles have been absolutely ravaged by injury this year. They're about to get healthy, which means guys like Travis Fulgham and Greg Ward are going to be very limited going forward. The last 2 weeks, Fulgham's had 16 catches for 227 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is great production for a guy that no one except Lions fans knew about. He's had 23 targets. He's made some spectacular contested catches as well. But you talk about Reagor, Deshaun, Alshon, Ertz, and Miles are all going to be back within the next month or so. Travis may get 1 or 2 more good games, but after that, I don't see him getting much of any volume at all. If you used him the last 3 weeks in your fantasy teams, absolutely good on you, but it's time to cash in that $5 gas station lottery ticket. You definitely got your money's worth with him. Sell him to somebody who doesn't pay attention or who is obsessed like football like we are. I'm not buying him at all. If I'm selling him, I would easily do it for a late second or early third. And that's only because, sometimes desperate times make people do crazy things. So what do you guys think about that going forward?
I love it. I actually got offered him today in the NCAA league, Jeremiah, and he wanted Eno Benjamin and another rookie running back. I can't remember who. And I said, no, thanks. I'd rather the shot on the running backs than I just don't see a whole lot of future. Just like you said, I don't see a whole lot of future long-term with him, at least in Philadelphia. Who knows? Maybe he goes somewhere else down the road and blossoms there, but I just don't see it.
Maybe I would for sure I'd have him offer bomb to every team in every league. Yeah. And I would probably be trying to get like a KJ Hamler. I would probably be trying to get Quentin Cephas from Detroit. One of those better draft pedigree wide receivers with some serious upside. You said it. He just doesn't have much upside. All these guys are coming back soon, and he's going to be riding the pine. Cut your losses, like Lang said. He's a $5 scratch off. You won $10. Congratulations.
Yep. Get yourself
take that $5. Even if it's $50 in free agent blind bidding, take it.
Yep.
If you're starting him right now because you need him, shame on you.
You're screwed.
Do better.
Well, everybody, that is our Week 7 Dynasty Buys and Sells. Make sure to go to thefantasyauthority.com where we have all of your Dynasty, DFS, and redraft fantasy football content there. We also have content popping on our YouTube page all the time at the Fantasy Authority. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment below so you can tell Maya how wrong he is on Rojo. So until next week, we will see you guys later.